Doug, you guys, come up short in the end, but I guess you're pretty proud of the effort that you saw from the guys out there.
Yeah, um, you know, the name of the game is to win the game. So they, they that part it hurts, but to watch these guys begin to um, find their way and find their rhythm and compete against some really good teams and put themselves consistently in position to win the ball game. And now, there's the learning curve of how to do it. And that is, it's difficult. It's difficult to win in our league. So some really good performances, some good moments, a lot of lessons, film, some individual work that, I need to touch some guys and make sure that, that they're understanding what they felt, how it can affect them, and how they can improve based upon their experiences.
Hey Doug, it kind of seems like some of these young guys that are getting to play together now with some extended run are almost kind of harnessing some of that summer league chemistry that they might have had. Do you feel that at all, or see that at all? Maybe a little bit of chemistry from.
Yeah, but they're different players now. So, and the players that they're playing against are not summer league players. So, I mean, I understand the premise, but this is a whole different animal than that. And the improvement that we're seeing in these guys are allowing them to compete against your Donovan Mitchells and your James Hardens and Kawhi Leonard's. Like that's first of all, it's a great honor and opportunity, but at the same time, it's there's a lot of learning that is inside of that.
I guess so much about Nique's aggression and 3-point shot. What do you see from him tonight and how he was going about generating his looks?
Yeah, man, I want to go break it down and specifically look at some of the plays and just his mindset. Like I can see that the thinking is going away, and it happens to a young player. You're thinking about you want to run the play, you want to play the right way. You got veterans and all these different things that go through your head. And one of his gifts, and this is kind of what I was saying to you, is he's just a ball player. Like go play. You can get downhill, you can pass the ball, you can got a floater, you can shoot the basketball, you can take a bump, you're strong enough to finish at the rim, you jump high enough to finish over the rim. Like do that. And then all of a sudden you get some shots and some confidence and let it fly and they'll go in. And lo and behold, he put together a really good game. Primary ball handler some of the times. Like that's a lot of to put on a young player, but to watch him continue to improve is really special and a lot of fun.
Doug, a couple of things here. Number one, how much is giving these players an opportunity, not just to play, but with Nique to move up as far as the pecking order and the shots that he's getting, the amount of shots and all that stuff? How much is that helping?
I think it does from the standpoint like we're in the huddle and it's coming your way. The play is for you. Now the play is for you to make a decision. It's not always to score. It's for the Kings to score. But the point is, I'm trusting you and go get it. And no apprehension, no nothing. I mean, part of it is, him finding and seeing the angles and the gaps and, understand where his teammates are at. So when he's looking at the board, we're talking about a single side tag and you got to read that low man and see what he's doing. And then, your teammate has to find the proper angle. So you got to see all of that. And the conversation I've had with him is when he comes off, like high level players aren't worried about the person in front of them. It's like, I got you, but let me see what's next. And you can see him starting to calculate that way.
And I guess what do you think how this is going
to, like the way that we're playing and that we want to play is like, listen, there is obviously always a pecking order, but the way that the ball moves around, the way that I create an advantage and I get downhill, I'm playing for my teammate all the time. So, it'll be Keegan's night and he'll have 30 and he's whatever option. it's Nique's night and he's got 30 and he's whatever option. Like we're playing basketball for each other as opposed to thinking like, and listen, the ball has gravity and it finds the person that it's supposed to find. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is like, when you're open, you shoot the ball. And if I create shots for you because I have the ability to play making the balls in my hands and I have the ability to score, you find those guys. And when you put guys like Hunter out there, you put Keegan out there, you put Plowden out there, you put Nique out there, you put our bigs out there, they're setting great screens, creating an advantage, getting downhill. Now you spray that ball out and, man, let it fly.
Coach, at that last time out, it looked like it was another, some more confusion out of that timeout. If you can, what was supposed to happen? Right
So we have a play called wide. Debo goes into the post off of a hawk cut. And then after he goes into the post, and in this particular instance, I wanted him to drop the ball so that he could work from there. And, if they come to double team, he can spray it out and hopefully knock down a three. Well, they got Dennis over there, they got Keon over there, so they know our plays. So I told Debo to face the other way, act like he was going to screen Nique and then fly off. For whatever reason, it didn't happen. And, it ends up in a turnover. But just a tweak to what we normally run all the time to get him in position to take advantage of his scoring and his gravity. And if they didn't double team him, I mean, he's a certified bucket. If they do double team him, we got shooters around him and, hopefully knock down a shot. Just wasn't executed like we would want to see it.
Coach Christie, you didn't have a chance to, dap it up or say anything to Dennis or Keon. I know we talked about this before the game. You said, once the ball go up, all that's out the door. But do you have any conversation with them or anything like that, or you just let things just play out?
Nah, keep it moving, man. I'm here to win. I'm all about the Sacramento Kings. Love them. Hope that everything goes well for them. But I'm about this. So, yeah.
Young guys are getting you into close positions in these games, but what do you feel like they need to learn in those next steps for actually closing it out and getting wins here?
Well, I mean, just the obvious is taking care of the basketball. We must take care of the basketball in those moments and get a shot, we have some fantastic offensive rebounders in Dylan. Plowden crashes, Nique crashes, Devin crashes, Russ crashes. So just get a shot. But also understanding time and score, slowing it down, taking our time, executing it, as was stated earlier. Like execution is probably the next step in the process of understanding time and score. What do we want to get? How do we want to get there? Do we want to make sure that the spacing is correct? And that comes with the calmness to handle the basketball. And I had this conversation with Nique. He has to know where everyone's supposed to be. That's a lot of responsibility. So it's like, hold up, Dylan, get there, hold on, over, hold on. And you see high-level players that they do that. And I think he has that ability. And but it comes with these type of opportunities. And when I watch it and I sit with him, he automatically knows the answer to the question. But in that moment, the answer to the question sometimes gets a little clouded because it's a lot going on and a lot for him to process as a young player. But his processor is extremely high level as we're watching. So I have no question that they'll be able to do it. They just got to continue to put themselves in the situation. And I have a massive amount of respect for how they're going about their business, how they're handling their business. Winning streaks and losing streaks in our league. Like we look back on this, we could have won just as many as we lost in this streak because we've constantly put ourselves in position. Now learning how to get over that's a whole different animal because winning in our league is extremely, extremely hard.
Obviously, based on what you're saying, you're sitting down with Nique a lot, and I'm curious what that sort of looks like and how much you're doing it with other guys. Like in front of the team, but is it individual as well?
Well, with Nique, Dylan, and Max specifically, sat with them and watched videos and just tried to, they have their coaches that watch them as well, and they watch with all the players, but just particularly them, because as young players, I want to make sure that they're understanding what I want them to understand. And then they see the team film as well. It's a lot of film. So just the ability to get them to understand the information so that we're speaking the same language in what we're saying. Because, whether you shooting a shot and you hear no or yes, what are you actually hearing? And we want to build the confidence in them to know that believe in you. Everything we're living with positive and negative, and all we want you to do is go out there and continue to learn, continue to compete at a high level.
Everyone.
Appreciate y'all. Yeah.
Good night.